Hello, neighbor. Hi everyone, hi, it's me, and today let's watch this video together. Game exchange, culture shock.
Hey everyone, 𝘋𝘌𝘆𝘴 here.
Hi 𝘋𝘌𝘆𝘴.
Alright, so last episode MacPack called me out to cover the Russian
Previously on culture shock.
folklore connections between Hello Neighbor's big bad boss fight and the Slavic superpowered witch known as Baba Yaga. Or more specifically, Baba Yaga and her chicken-legged house. Yeah, alright, I'll take on your challenge. I mean, so far everything else in this game has been wrapped up in Russian culture. Buildings and signs have been in Russian, there's the neighbor's bandaged right ring finger, which is where wedding bands are worn in northern and eastern European countries like Denmark, Norway, Poland, Bulgaria, and Russia. And the more I hear Matt talking about the Christian references in this game, the more I'm wondering if the Russian Orthodox Church is going to play any specific role in the story. But I digress. Baba Yaga. Safe to say she's one of the weirdest witches I've ever seen. Unlike your atypical witch who flies on a broom, Baba Yaga rides around inside a mortar.
What? Okay, this is gonna be an unusual, interesting, and unique video.
No, not artillery. I'm talking about the tool you use to mash up ingredients into. But the more I look at it, the more it looks like a bucket or a bin. Huh. Anyway, she apparently glides around this thing using the mortar's pestle as a rudder. But lo, she does actually have a broom. One made of silver birch, in fact.
Wow.
So you'd think this would have some kind of magical properties, right?
Yep.
Well, you'd be wrong, because all she does with it is cover her tracks to make sure that no one's following her.
Huh.
Now, I'm sure I've already lost some of you guys, and I mean, I don't blame you. When I first started researching this gal, I was kind of at a loss at how any of this has anything to do with Hello Neighbor. But believe it or not, gang, it actually does, intentional or otherwise. Most fans might recall a special glitch that allowed the player character to float around in the air, which was predominantly the only way players could see the rest of the map and figure out where the walls were. All one had to do was correctly position themselves in a trash can, crouch to squeeze in, and then jump, allowing the player to float up indefinitely. Starting to see some parallels? Remember, Baba Yaga floated around in a mortar, but in the majority of the artistic representations I've seen of her, Baba Yaga looks like she flies around in more of a bucket or even a can more than anything else.
True, that can look like a mortar. Maybe.
Also remember that Baba Yaga actually needed a pestle to steer her vessel lest it just float up. Similar to how in game you have no way of propelling yourself forward, all you can do is float straight up. So, in theory, this glitch may actually be a cleverly hidden reference to the old hag. Now, I know a lot of people might say that's probably just a coincidence, but this is a glitch that's been in multiple builds, meaning if the developers really wanted to, they could take it out after it got too much exposure on YouTube. But either way, we're just getting started with these connections. Another thing to make mention as well is both Baba Yaga and the neighbor are incredibly secretive to what they do. Baba Yaga uses her silver birch broom to literally cover her trail to make sure no one else is onto her, and the neighbor, well, has countless tools to make sure no one catches on to whatever he's doing in his home. Anywho, like most witches, Baba Yaga rarely leaves her chicken-legged home and never provokes attacks from outsiders. However, if someone is unfortunate enough to stumble into her home, they would likely be kidnapped and or eaten. And to add more discouragement, Baba Yaga's house is said to be surrounded by a fence of human skulls, with one fence post empty, warning travelers that they could very easily be next. However, in the tale of Vasilisa the Beautiful, as interpreted by Ivan Bilibin, Baba Yaga didn't eat her victim, but rather hid her away in her hut and enslaved her until a dog, a gate, and a tree helped her escape. Again, sounding familiar? The neighbor character never ever provokes the player character, but as soon as we get even remotely close to his house, we get chased down. And while the neighbor doesn't have a fence of skulls to deter us, he has plenty of other things to discourage anyone from snooping in his home. But one of the most interesting connections comes from one of Matt's older theories about the game. The bed and crib in the basement that eventually lead the player to a high-pitched scream coming from an even deeper room, whether it be a child or a young woman. To my knowledge, it hasn't been proven or disproven, but still, it's possible that the neighbor has a child and or a woman locked up in his basement. And whether or not it's a young female or a child, there could still easily be that connection between him and Baba Yaga. But I'm just splitting hairs at this point, so let's move on to the true
come on, cry me a river.
challenge Matt was setting up for me. The house. Now at this point, we've seen the Hello Neighbor boss with a house on his back, but what about Baba Yaga's house? Well, for starters, Baba Yaga's house isn't exactly large. In fact, stories tell of it being so small that Baba Yaga's long witch nose could actually touch the ceiling. But in most interpretations I've researched, it looks big enough to support a single person. Unlike Hello Neighbor's house, which is a freaking architectural nightmare. Seriously, what does he need with all that space? Also, Baba Yaga...
I mean, it's a game, so please don't take it too seriously, and it's a folktale, so maybe room for imaginative creativity, I guess? Maybe.
This home is seemingly alive as it has those two aforementioned giant chicken legs which it runs around on screaming and crying when Baba Yaga isn't home. But why chicken legs of all things?
Why?
Well, that actually comes from how structures were built by ancient Siberians and Slavic folk. These small log cabins were constructed on top of anywhere between 1 to 6 closely grown trees with a cutoff for the foundation about 8 to 10 feet off the ground. Though these structures weren't homes, but rather storage houses for food and supplies, which is why they were constructed so far off the ground. Wildlife and thieves would have a hard time ransacking it. But that's not the only reason why these huts were built so weird. The other purpose were for Siberian pagan rituals. Now, in some cases, gods of dolls would be stored and used for worship there. However, there has been evidence that these cabins were used for cremations as well. In fact, in 1948, corpse cremation residue was found in similar style huts. Either way they were used, considering the all-natural tree still to the house, the rings around the trunk, and the roots going into the ground, it gave it an appearance of chicken legs. Now, as far as getting into Baba Yaga's cabin, it's actually really tricky. Though it's often depicted as having closed doors and windows, these actually serve as the hut's eyes and mouth.
Wait, what? Okay, with the chicken I can understand the but a window and door as what?
With the door only actually appearing when the phrase, "turn your back to the forest and your front to me," is spoken. Otherwise, the hut will actually get up, run around screaming like a child until Baba Yaga comes. So what does this have to do with the big old Hello Neighbor boss? Well, quite a bit actually. First of all, before the encounter even begins, giant boss neighbor cries out at you in a high screamy voice. Possibly similar to how Baba Yaga's house would scream at anyone who approached it when she wasn't home. Next, we discover that the neighbor has a house on wooden stilts on his back. However, it's not his own house like I first thought it was, but instead a very, very small house, almost like a cottage.
Huh, interesting. It has a feeling of Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack of the Titans, but with a different house.
Just like Baba Yaga's hut. In fact, once you get into the house on the neighbor's back, you discover that it's actually just a single room structure. Again, just like Baba Yaga's home, and just like the ancient Siberian structures built for storage.
Single room structure.
Also within the boss room itself, there is yet another small hut on wooden stilts. And when you finally have access to it, you discover that there's a cake with one slice out and 3 parts together, a random bathtub, some pictures, and a whole lot of candles.
Is that
Probably something for Matt to cover on later.
Hidden Easter egg, maybe.
But just like the old Slavic storehouses, this house seems to be more for storage than for living. And considering how many candles are placed on that back wall, it does make me wonder if there are any connections to either pagan rituals or even the previously mentioned cremations, considering how much fire is inside the freaking building. So there you have it, Matt. While at first glance I really wasn't sure if there was much to the neighbor Baba Yaga connection, it seems like there really was, in theory anyway. And if there is a connection between Baba Yaga and Hello Neighbor, I'd say keep a lookout for 3 potential characters, because apparently Baba Yaga had 3 riders at her beck and call. The White Horseman of Dawn, the Red Horseman of the Sun, and the Black Horseman of Midnight. Seriously, this gal's resourceful. Anyway, guys, before I head out, I need to give a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, Verve. Now, you might have heard of these guys, but if not, Verve is a brand new video streaming service that houses several different channels in their combo pack, including Crunchyroll, Funimation, Rooster Teeth, Mondo, and a bunch more, with shows like Hidden America, Cyanide and Happiness, Harmon Quest, My Brother and Me, and the newly released Last Man from Mondo, many of which are available right now and free. But why settle for waiting on new episodes? You can actually get a 30-day free trial by visiting the link in the description to get early access to all of Verve's great programs. That's 10 channels worth of content free for 30 days.
Wow.
Even after the free trial, you're still getting a $40 value for less than $10. And personally, I think it's worth it just for Funimation and Crunchyroll alone, but there's a lot more to check out. But in the meantime, everyone, thanks for watching. Myself, Matt, and even Austin have made some pretty intense theories about Hello Neighbor, so go check them out if you missed them. Or you can head on over to my channel and check out some of my other independent culture and gaming analysis videos. But either way, gang, until next time, this is 𝘋𝘌𝘶𝐿, signing out.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video has been very unique, special, and enjoyable for you to watch. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you, but hey, that's just a game. A game exchange! Culture Talk. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! And to be honest, I'm sincerely grateful and thankful for all of your support and encouragement for me. Thank you. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!